Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. In this class, we are going to begin with the adjective clauses, learn about their meaning as well as their usage and solve the questions pertaining to the same. So first, before we begin with an adjective clause, we all know what is an adjective. Okay, the simplest way to define adjective is something which describes or a describing word we all learned when we were kids. So adjectives are describing words. Now an adjective clause, which is also known as a relative clause, is a subordinate clause in a sentence and it performs the function of an adjective to a noun in the sentence. We all know that whenever we talk about a describing word can either describe a person, it can describe a place, an animal, a thing. So basically, a describing word describes, or an adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. So an adjective clause serves the same purpose, that is describing the noun or the pronoun in the sentence, and it is also known as a relative clause. And the noun which is described by the adjective clause is known as its antecedent. Remember, when we did the noun clauses, I told you that I talk about the antecedents when I teach you the adjective clauses. So what is an antecedent? Antecedent is the noun which comes before an adjective clause. That is an antecedent. For example, the man who is on the stage is my brother. What is my adjective clause? Who is singing on the stage? Because this is how you have described the man, or this is how you described your brother. Now, what is the noun that is coming before your adjective clause? The man. So this noun which comes before my adjective clause is known as its antecedent. If I give you another example, the girl who dances well is in my class. Right? This is the sentence that I have written for you all. The girl who dances well is in my class. Now, what is the adjective clause in the sentence? Who dances well? And what is this adjective clause describing? What is the noun the adjective clause is describing? The girl. So this noun is the antecedent. Alright? Now, the antecedent of an adjective should always occur just before the clause. There should not be any word between them. Okay? It should be a noun immediately followed by the adjective clause. Also, an adjective clause begins with a relative pronoun. For example, who and whom, which is used for a person, which is used for a thing, and that or whose are used either for a person or for a thing. So, the adjective clauses will either begin with who, whom, which, that, whose. Now, an adjective clause is said to be defining, which is also known as if it is the part of the definition of its antecedent. If my adjective clause is a part of the definition of my antecedent, it is known as a defining clause. And if it only gives extra information about its antecedent in a okay, which does not define it. Okay, it is just providing you with an extra information and no definition is being given, then it is said to be non-defining or independent adjective clause. So adjective clause is dependent or defining if it is a part of the definition of the antecedent. Antecedent means the noun which is exactly before my adjective clause. And antecedent is my adjective clause is non-defining or independent if it is only supplying with some extra information related to the same. When the antecedent is clearly well defined, if it is well defined by the context, then the adjective clause should be non-defining in nature, as I told you. Okay. Now let us look at the exercise which is given with it so that it is clear to you. Complete the sentences with the adjective clauses. Manish is the boy. As I said, they always begin with an adjective clause. They always begin with a relative, pronoun. So Manish is the boy who is very intelligent. Right? I'm beginning it with a relative pronoun who. The food which my mother made looks fresh. Or the bat is the only mammal that or which can fly. Next, look, that's the singer who sang at the Oscars. I don't like animals that or which growl. Okay, that growl like a lion. So this way, using a relative pronoun, you can easily complete the rest of the sentences as well. Let us look at the next question. Combine each of the following pairs of sentences by using an adjective clause. The first one has been done already. I met Mukesh in Kashmir. He is a tour guide. So I met Mukesh, who is a tour guide in Kashmir. Let us look at the other sentences. The girl was frightened. She looked pale. So the girl, comma, who looked very pale, comma, was frightened. Now you can well notice that I have separated my clause in the sentence using commas. So this is how the structure of the sentence is when you inject an adjective clause within the sentence. Next, she was sitting in the emergency room. It was very crowded. So I say the emergency room, comma, where she was sitting, comma, was very crowded. Okay, let us look at the other sentence. A nurse was nearby. She called out to her. So a nurse was nearby, was called out by her. Let us look at the other sentence. The nurse called a doctor. He came immediately. So, the nurse called a doctor who came immediately. Alright? So this ways you can complete the rest of the sentences as well using a relative pronoun. Alright? Now we have, let me see, yes. So the next question is, underline the adjective clause in each sentence and place the missing commas if it is a non-defining clause. So if the clause is non-defining in nature, you have to put a comma. So adjective clause, Meena wrote a letter to her friend who stays abroad. So Meena wrote a letter to her friend who stays abroad. Next, first we will underline the adjective clauses and then we'll insert the commas. The vase that is on the table is a gift from my friend. My mother wore the dress which I gave her. We went to the garden which has beautiful flowers. The principal gave the prize to Vesh, who was the winner. The student who is on the last bench is my brother. Now, if you look at these 6 sentences, we've underlined the adjective clauses in each one of them. In the sentence number 2, as well as the sentence number 6, my clause is non-defining because it is defining my antecedent very clearly. The vase that is lying on the table. It defines my antecedent. What is my antecedent? The vase. So this is defining my antecedent. So it is a non-defining clause and I am going to put a comma to differentiate my adjective clause. Look at the 6th sentence. The student who is sitting on the last bench is my brother. What is my adjective clause defining? The student it is describing, which is its antecedent. So it is clearly defining the antecedent. It becomes a non-defining clause. So therefore, we separate the adjective clause using a. So this is how we are going to work upon the adjective clauses. Now, the next question, you are simply supposed to give examples, on your own of the sentences which have an adjective clause. It may be defining or it may be non-defining. So, this is something which is to be done by you yourself. So, with this, my dear students, we come to the end of the topic which clearly stated and explained the topic adjective clauses to you all. I hope it is clear to you. So I shall see you all now in my next lecture where we begin with the adverb clauses. All right. See you then.